Hi guys, out today. Today's video wasn't expected, but I'm just doing a little trail hike and I was walking by some willow and thought I'd do a quick video on making a willow whistle. This is something I know that my siblings will enjoy. We used to make these as children all the time and would have a lot of fun with it. Running around the forest, blowing whistles, it was a good time. The other thing about being able to make a whistle out of a piece of willow is that it, in an emergency situation, having a whistle with you is very good asset, and being able to make a whistle is a good technique to learn. For the national distress signal, 3 long blasts on a whistle is what you want. So as soon as you make your whistle, if you're lost or whatever, 3 long blasts, wait a while, 3 long blasts, wait a while. Anyways, it's also fun, and it's great to entertain the children. Teach your kids how to do this, and when you're out camping and stuff, they'll entertain themselves with it. So anyways, I'm just going to get right into this. I already chopped down a little piece of the willow and cut it straight at one end. This is a small piece. It's only about 5/8 of an inch thick, but we'll try to give it a whirl and see if it works for us. So the first thing you're going to do, I'll get right into this. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take and on the one side, doesn't matter what side, and just make a small mouth notch. And I'll bring it to the camera and show you what it looks like. Little notch like this. Hopefully you're getting that. And then on top, directly opposite from that notch, come back about 1 inch, and you're going to make a sound hole. And the sound hole, hopefully the camera will pick this up, should look kind of like a little smiley face, I guess. It's not very large, and it's definitely not deep. You just want to basically get through the bark a little bit. So there's the sound hole. Hopefully the camera will pick that up as well. Next step, we're going to come back, say a couple inches from that. It doesn't matter how far, just pick an appropriate spot. What I'm going to do is, there's a small knot here, and I'm going to go right in front of that knot, and I'm going to ring this willow all the way around. In case you're wondering, I'll probably continuously give props to Benchmade for this Bushcraft 162 they built. This is one of the better knives that I own. Stays sharp, retains an edge for a long time. Obviously, keep your bushcraft knives, all your knives, hatchets, machetes very sharp, and they'll work better for you and they'll be a lot safer. But anyways, that's the Benchmade little prop there I'll give to them because I love this knife. Anyways, I ring this all the way around in a circle. And next step, in the springtime, sap flows pretty well. We're midsummer right now, so the sap isn't flowing that great. But what you want to do is use a stick, or I'm just going to use the back side of this knife, and just give the bark a few taps all the way around that willow piece. And what that's going to do is it's going to loosen the bark from the core beneath it and allow it to release easier. Give it a few taps, and then you're going to grip the bottom tight like this, and we're going to grip this part nice and tight, and we're going to give it a twist just like that. Came loose very simply, just a little twist, comes right loose. Try not to break the bark, and very carefully slip that bark right off of the core like that. So now we have an empty core. I'm going to set the bark down. Try not to break it, try not to damage it. And we'll continue on with making our whistle. So the next step in making this whistle is to hollow out from where we made our little air notch. We're going to hollow out a sound chamber. We're going to come back about 1 inch, and we're going to go about halfway through. There's no exact measurement for this, nothing technical about it. You're going to go straight down and you're going to hollow towards it. So I'll show you that when I'm done. Cut straight down into my willow. Hollow this sound chamber out. And I generally go about halfway through. You'll notice when you're halfway through, the core of the willow is a different color. You can definitely see the core once you get halfway through, which is generally my gauge, how far I go. Make a nice deep sound chamber, makes a better sound. Obviously, different sound chambers make different sounds. Different size of willow is going to make a different sound. How you make each whistle is going to make a different sound. So play around with it, but this is how I like to do it. Makes a good sharp whistle, very loud. I don't know if you can hear that mourning dove in the background, but sure whistling away there. So anyways, that's the shape of the sound chamber. So the next step, from the front edge of our sound chamber, we're going to go back towards our mouthpiece. We're just going to take the top of this off flat, and I'll show you how that looks. So we flattened it off. Hopefully I'm not too shaky and that camera's picking that up. One more step here. Go part way up, excuse me, and we're going to bevel it off even more. You're going to bevel this off a little bit more down towards your mouthpiece. What that does is that allows more air into the whistle from your mouth as you blow. You don't want to go right back to the sound chamber, because if you go too far, that air won't constrict. You want that air to constrict. So that's sort of what it looks like finished. So the air is going to come in, it's going to constrict at this point, it's going to hit the sound chamber, it's going to swirl, and it's going to come out the sound hole that we made previously to taking the bark off. So now the final step is to pick your bark back up and slide your bark right back over top of that whistle, right where it came from, right over the core. Be careful with it not to damage your bark. Just slowly slide it back on and line it back up to where it came from. So now that bark is right back on there. This is a final whistle, and we'll see how this works. Pretty good little whistle. They're obviously nice and loud. Very easy to make, fun. Kids will have a lot of fun with it. So next time you're out and you're passing some willow, take out your knife, play with it, make yourself a whistle. Cheers, guys.